obviously extremely happy to find a way to win. After not really executing offensively down the stretch the way we would like to have. Turned the ball over a couple times versus their press where we really didn't need to. But the resilience that our guys showed, with those 2 defensive stops at the end of the game, called a timeout there to try to see what their lineup was going to be. Did we want to put a 4-man on their 5? Were they going to set a pick and roll with them? Then we could just switch. Had to keep Green out of the lane. And then we didn't have a timeout. We found a way to get a stop, and then they get the ball underneath out of bounds. And our guys scrambled. They switched correctly. They threw the ball all the way out into that, basically behind the 3-point line and shot a desperation 3. So I'm so proud of our guys for the resilience they showed just in that moment. But good win. These games with Mason always seem to come down to the wire. For the first time in 3 years, it's great to be on the positive end of that wire. And this week we need to rest. We need to get better, and obviously got a big one next Saturday.
You guys have only 1 block in the game, but arguably the most important block there with Preston.
There was an argument in the locker room who it was, Preston or Carl. Preston was higher, so we'll give it to him.
Regardless, to see your team step up defensively in that moment when it basically was you guys have struggled defending for most of the season.
The performance that Preston Santos had tonight was, as good as any performance any of our freshmen have had all year. Okay, and he goes for 17-5, huge block, 4 assists, 1 turnover. That's as good of a performance as any of our freshmen have had. We've had some good ones. Trey's had some good ones. TJ's had some good ones. Sean's had some good ones. But this one's right there. And to see him make that play with the game on the line, he made huge threes with the game on the line too. Carl was struggling from behind the arc. Preston stepped up, and that play was the biggest play in the game.
Matt, you've talked often about your guys, the young guys having to learn. This time they were able to stop Mason from coming back down the stretch. What does that say about the young guys that they were able to stop them from taking the lead?
We just had to get stops down the stretch, and I think it says a lot. And we had Colton in there, we had Trey, we had Preston. I think the Baju was in there too, or maybe Samba was in there. But for those young guys to be in that moment in the game got away from us. We were up 10. They came all the way back. Baju goes to the line, makes 2 huge free throws. We obviously missed some big ones too. But to show some resilience there, to get stops with the game on the line, I was really, really proud of it.
How big was having bench production from Jerry and Sean?
Listen, I'm going to soak up, the next month and a half of coaching the Jerry because, before the season he came in my office unannounced, unasked, and told me that whatever I need him to do or whatever we feel as a staff was best for him as a role on this team, he would buy into 100%. He's never come into my office asking for player time. He's never complained about playing time. He comes every single day with an unbelievable attitude. And for a guy that's in his 5th year in college, to see him go out there, get double figures tonight, play the way he did, I couldn't be happier for him because, as much as any guy since I've been here, he's all about the right things. And just really, really, really proud. I was nervous going into the game. I didn't like the look on our guys' faces in the locker room. We're trying to stress how big this game was. There's a lot we're playing for. We've got, 7 games left, 6 games left, whatever it is, 8 games left. Okay, we've got a chance right now to have the most wins in the league in the last 4 years. We got a chance to get a first-round bye in Brooklyn. That hasn't been done in 4 years. There's a lot we're playing for. And these guys just kind of look lethargic. And I knew to start the game, if that starting 5 didn't bring it effort-wise, I was going to sub 5 guys right away. And I did that, and then that starting 5, when they got back in, they responded the right way.
Was that just about saying the message? Got in that first one?
100%. We're not budging on the standard of effort. And we didn't give great effort to start the game. And that's ultimately how we took the lead in the first half was our effort, just playing hard. And it's got to be that way every day.
How many times had you done that before?
I did it early. I did it at Fairfield. I know that for a fact. Probably need to do it more. But a lot of times we're giving good effort at times, and you don't need to do it. But when you're not, that's something that sends a message and a tone that we got to play hard. And I thought it was good, and everyone like Colton Mitchell, he took it through the roof, in the first half, and some of the steals he got. And part of it was we were playing zone. We were concerned about Javon Green living in the lane and doing those types of things, so we played zone. But then we just changed with man, pressed, and forced them into 21 turnovers.
You mentioned sort of the importance of this game in terms of the larger A-10 settings. Is that something you're stressing with the guys at this point in the season, or that's something that's sort of in the back of your mind?
Listen, we're not ever worried about the standings, especially with where Dayton sits and Rhode Island sits. I mean, those two obviously are at the top of VCU and St. Louis, and we're never worried about that. But yeah, man, we're playing for something here, and we talked a lot in the beginning of the season. Like, no team at UMass has started 5-0 in a long time. Start leaving your mark on this program, to have some positivity as we move forward, to get the program going in the right direction, the direction that everybody wants it to. So there's a lot we're playing for right now. We haven't had a bye in 4 years, okay? We haven't had more than 5 wins in 4 years, so there's a lot to play for. And we need to practice that way. We need to approach every day like that. We need to get better, okay? We need to get better each and every day and understand that every time we step in between the lines, there's something on the line.
When you have Carl who only finishes 2 of 12 shooting from the field, how important is that, having Ian from Preston to kind of pick up his scoring?
I thought a lot of those were down too. I mean, they rimmed out. There was a couple that were right there. Like I said, the performance by Preston was as good as we've had from a freshman this year, and he didn't come out in the second half, and he made that block with the game on the line. Couldn't take him out. He was too valuable. It was huge, and that's what a team does. And we've talked a lot about finding that third scorer, or that third and fourth scorer to really step up for us. And he's turning into that, and you got to give him credit because he's done everything we've asked him to do. He's really matured in the 8, 9 months, however many he's been here, and he continues to grow up, and he's reaping those benefits right now.
Talk about Jerry's offense again. I think there's something like 29 total points in the first 19 games. He's at 26 now in the last 5. What's been different with the Jerry that he's been able to contribute you guys offensively as well?
It's just his approach. The Jerry puts a lot of pressure on himself. Coach Bergeron talks to him a lot about not doing that. He's in the gym working with them and working on his jump hooks and doing those types of things. Stop putting so much pressure on yourself. And that's, him and Trey battling every day has been helpful too. The thing that I thought was the best part of him scoring the ball tonight was the reaction when I turned around from our bench, and especially Trey Mitchell. That to me just says culturally we're moving in the right place, because that was awesome. I mean, he's making jump hooks, and I turn around, the first guy that's standing up is Trey Mitchell, the guy who he's in the game for. So I couldn't be happier for DJ.
You talked about obviously the excitement of finding a way to pull out this game, but what do you guys need to do better to not put yourself
Don't
in
hand
that
the ball to
situation?
the other team. We handed the ball to the other team too much. 19 times we handed the ball to the other team. We had some bad possessions on offense in the first half, trying to force some plays that weren't there. Obviously, down the stretch, we handed the ball to them a couple times versus their press. Take nothing away from Mason. They did a good job changing defenses, going 1-3-1, pressing. But, just some of the turnovers were like, you're sitting over there, should I call a timeout? And you're like, okay, well, let's get it across the half court. Let's call a timeout. Let's run a play. We need a basket here. And, you're back on your heels and just kind of trying to throw a play that's not there. So we got to do a much better job of taking care of the ball. Date's going to come in. I'm sure they're going to try to pick us up full court, obviously. We'll start to worry about that later tonight. But we just got to take much, much better care of the basketball. We got to make free throws down the stretch. Dibaji made 2 big ones. But we also missed some big ones too, and we got to do a much better job going to the line and making them there.
You just mentioned the kind of thought process of taking it out. There were a couple of times after Mason scored where you looked like you're about to take it, and then you wanted to advance at half court and has turned over. What goes into that decision of not taking it right after the basket?
Because sometimes, Josh, the floor is broken, and it's easier to get the ball across half court when it's a broken floor situation than when they can set their defense. So that was the dilemma. It's a broken floor. Get it in, get it to Sean. Don't let them set up. Get it across half court. So, and obviously you want to try to save them. I wanted one late there to see what alignment they were in. Who are we going to put in? Who's going to be on the 5? Who's going to be on the 4? Can we switch? Do we blitz Javon Green? at the end of the game, if the ball's in his hands, and those thoughts are all going through your head in that moment.
Sean provided like an offensive spark for you guys, pretty much the second he touched the court and, early in the first half there. How do you feel like he's sort of grown in his role off the bench?
Yeah, I mean, Sean is, as a point guard, we're hard on him. But I think Sean at times, he's got to keep things in perspective too about he's had a good year. He's had some ups, he's had some downs, but he's had some big games as a freshman. And there's a lot of freshmen around the country that don't even get in, and he's producing. He's produced for us in games. He's got to keep that in perspective when he goes out there and still bring his energy, bring his great attitude every day, and understand that. And, him coming off the bench has been good for us. He needs to continue to work, and him and Colton need to continue to battle and practice every day and make each other better.
Obviously, no midweek game this week. Is it coming out a good time for you guys
Yes.
to have the extended break?
Yes. We need this break. We need to get rest. Trey went knee to knee yesterday, and we were a little concerned about that. He's obviously logging a lot of minutes. He needs to get some rest. Carl, same thing. So we need this week to get healthy. We need rest, and we need to get better. Obviously, we're staring down right now. You got top 5 team coming in the country on Saturday. You got some other big home games on your schedule, or St. Louis, VCU. You still got road games at Fordham, Richmond, LaSalle. I mean, we got a lot of basketball left to be played, and we got to be ready. We got to be at full strength. We got to be healthy, and we got to get better.
Carl didn't have a shot until 10 minutes into the game, and Rhode Island, he kind of got off to a slow start too. Moving forward, do you want to try to get Carl involved?
Well, we always want to get Carl involved. We always want to get him going. You got to give their tempo press a lot of credit. We worked on it yesterday. We did not do a good job attacking it, especially at the beginning of the game. We were stagnant. But yeah, we got to find ways to get him going early and get him into a rhythm, no question.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
All right, guys.